2.
You are listening to the show that is all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. That's right. You're listening to Get Down to Business. I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Just finished a fantastic conversation with Julia Klein about the sleaze-free sales process. And a great continuation to that conversation is our next guest, Tom Figiel, who is a senior human resource generalist at Tandem HR. Our good friends, the True Professionals, the Solution Center. Tom, welcome back to Get Down to Business.
Hi, Shalom. Glad to be here.
Thanks for joining us, as always, sharing your insightful tips and comments on business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. That's what the show is all about. So we just talked a little bit with Julia about sales. Something that I get a lot of questions on is how a business that's getting started or might be growing, how do you build a team, a productive team, whether it's sales or perhaps it's another department? How do you get that business or that organization to the next level by developing the people within the organization?
It's a great question. And in line with the theme of the sales tonight, I'll speak to aligning the sales team, the sales professionals together. As Julia was saying, I agree with a lot of her points that good sales professionals know it's about understanding the customer's needs and solving their problems, and it's not about how charming or bubbly your personality is. And there's another great book, in addition to Julia's, written by Neil Rackham called Spin Selling, that I think does a great job providing a model for successful sales, which suggests that the salesperson should ask questions and first find out about the prospect's situation, their problem, and its implication, and then finally how your solution can help their needs and be the payoff.
Great advice and a great book. I actually have started that book. It's in my pile of books that I tried to catch up on during the weekend. But hey, now that we're at New Year's, there's a few extra hours in the day, and maybe this is the week that I'll actually finish. Great advice. So, Tom, do you believe that any staff person, any employee, any associate, any team member is trainable and can be trained to, let's say, be a good salesperson?
Oh, sure. Yes, absolutely. Anybody can be trained on anything. I think what's most important is that they feel it's important to them, and they see the WIFM. You've probably heard that acronym, but what's in it for me? If someone feels that there's a benefit to them, it will make their life easier in some way, they're going to be more willing to want to be trained and then take that training and, most importantly, apply it in the real-life situation. And it's very helpful to practice before going out into a live situation. After you've learned some knowledge, you've read some material, it's always important to practice that and get used to how it feels on you and get used to and comfortable with yourself and how that feels.
Sure. And I believe every business these days want people that will do whatever it takes to get the job done. And the job doesn't necessarily fit always into the job description that they may have been hired with. But sometimes, things happen in a company and you need to improvise a little bit. And I'm firmly of the belief that there's a limited number of those people that will do whatever it takes. And I agree, people are trainable. Do you have any advice for companies that in 2015 are trying to grow and are trying to find really exceptional people to be a part of their team that will really help get their business to the next level?
Sure. Again, along the lines of techniques of strong sales professionals, I always turn it back to finding out what the needs are of the employees. If you want to grow a great sales staff or a great team or a great culture, find out and allow the staff to find out what their needs are, and let them know and show and demonstrate that you have their best interest in mind. When you do that, people are more genuinely willing and wanting to apply that discretionary effort and go above and beyond every day when they know that, hey, they're after my best interest, they're helping me, they're giving me the tools. Well, in return, I want to pay them back and provide quality work every day.
Great advice. Once again, we're talking with Tom Figiel of Tandem HR. Tom, you deal with a lot of companies in your work at Tandem HR. Tell us a little bit about some of the interesting stories or the things that you really enjoy about your work in building teams and helping companies, your clients at Tandem HR, develop their organization and take it to the next level.
Yes, well, thank you. That's a great question. And what I enjoy most is watching people grow, watching people learn, and a lot of times physically seeing the aha moments when they finally get something for themselves. And as a coach, I help people illuminate the differences between what they want to do and their intentions and what they're actually doing. And once, I get to see that in many situations with owners, with first-time managers, with individual contributors. I enjoy, and it happens every day, where sharing something with somebody and letting them dissect it and see what it means to them and then apply it and use it, that to me is the best satisfaction of all.
So last week we had Bruce Leon of Tandem HR on the show, and we were talking a little bit about end-of-the-year strategies, New Year's resolutions, and I know I've been to so many holiday parties over these past few weeks. Thankfully, this is the first week of quiet that I could actually relax a little bit at night, whatever relaxation actually means for me. And Bruce was telling us that specifically your industry and your organization, your holiday party at Tandem is actually going to be a little bit later because end of the year is a busy time of year, and you're getting ready to thank the team at Tandem HR, I believe, in January. Is there any advice that you have for companies that might be looking to do a little bit of something special or something interesting for their staff, for their employees, to say thank you for making 2014 so fantastic and perhaps motivate them, incentivize them to make 2015 even better?
Yes, that's a great question, and one of the most constructive techniques that I've experienced and read about and used myself is to try and personalize the thank you. We say thank you every day, and the employees appreciate that. But if we can give them a gift or find out something special about them and then thank them in a way that shows, hey, again, they're paying attention to me. They know me as a person and not just a number. That really drives home, and the employees really get a lot of appreciation out of that. And as you know, a lot of times it's not necessarily an expensive gift. It could just be a nice gesture or remembering something and sharing with them how that helps you. That goes a long way to help developing those strong long-term relationships.
Sure. And just earlier today, I was at a client's office, a client that has somebody new starting tomorrow, actually, Monday morning. And I utilized a trick that Bruce Leon taught me when I visited at your offices at Tandem HR, and I put up a little sign, and I left a company T-shirt on their desk, and it said that company welcomes that individual. And I was thinking about it. It's such a perfect tip, such a perfect trick. It really makes people feel so welcome, because often when people are searching for a job or they might be recruited, they're probably being recruited by multiple companies. You want them to feel so happy that they picked your organization. And you guys really do it right at Tandem HR. So Tom, as always, it's a pleasure having you on the show. We want to make sure that our listeners know how to reach you to learn a little bit more about some tips for end of the year and going into 2015. How can listeners of Get Down to Business get in touch with you, Tom?
Yes, thank you. I can be reached at 312-914-1341.
Fantastic. And is there an email address that we can share as well?
Yes, tfiegel@tandemhr.com.
Fantastic. Once again, check out their website, tandemhr.com. They're a wealth of information. That's why we call them your solution center. They really are. You can find them at tandemhr.com or call 630-928-0510. That's their main number. And Tom, once again, your direct line?
312-914-1341.
Fantastic. Once again, talking with Tom Figiel of Tandem HR. As we go into 2015, we'll be getting a lot of great advice for growing your business from the professionals at Tandem HR. After the break, we're going to be talking with Linda Foreman, CPA from Evanston, who's going to share a few minutes of advice as we wrap up these remaining few days in 2014 and get ready for another tax season. A little bit of advice from Linda Foreman, and we're also talking with Miriam Amon about her organization, No Shame on You. You don't want to miss a minute of it. At the end of the show, I'm going to be sharing tips for business apps for your smartphone. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You're listening to Get Down to Business.
You have to wonder if the wheel